students. It's Miss Dana, and I'm here at your school garden just checking in on it. So I'm going to be walking around and showing you a few things that have changed. Alright. So here are our strawberries, and as you can see, the roly-polies are still eating them, even though I put the cardboard down. You can even see it looks like their droppings are all over the place. So you're not missing much because the roly-polies are getting to them first. Here is the beautiful chia seed plants that Miss Fulbright started in her classroom. You can see how huge they are. You can even see some of them, they're starting to bloom. There's some beautiful chia flowers. And remember, the flowers, once they're pollinated, go on to produce seeds. So once those flowers produce seeds, then we can gather them and we can plant more chia plants. Oh, and this is one tiny sprout from our sugarcane stalk. So here's our pumpkin flower. You can see some little flies in there. Beautiful flower. And if we look at the base of the flower, there's our fruit. It's a pumpkin, but it's technically a fruit, because what does it have on the inside? That's right, fruits have seeds on the inside. So even though we think of a pumpkin as a vegetable, it's technically the fruit of the plant. There's another one right there. So here we are at a box. I planted this with Miss Cervantes' class. The students planted potatoes, and you can see how huge. These are the potato plants, how huge they've grown. We also planted in this bed, I don't know if you guys remember, we planted some Cosmo flowers, and they've started to bloom. Beautiful flowers. And we planted radishes, which I just harvested today. So your radishes did great. You guys started those by seed. And then at this end we planted some marigolds, and they're kind of poking along. It looks like a bunch of them died and there's one left. Sometimes that happens in the garden. These are beautiful calendula flowers. They're related to sunflowers. They're in the same family. So here in our view we have 3 different stages of flowers. We've got our unopened bud, have our almost so close to opening bud, and then we have our open flower. Can you count how many petals there are? Tons and tons of petals, too many to count. Sunflowers and calendulas, all flowers of this family, are composite flowers. So if you look into the center, that is made up of about hundreds of little tiny flowers, and they're grouped into one big flower. So composite flower. So it's hard to count how many petals because there's actually tons and tons of petals in the center too. Here, so remember, flowers get pollinated and then they can produce seeds. So here if we look at this, these are the old dried off petals. And if I wipe those away, all these green kind of guys, they look like insects almost. Those are the seeds. These are the green seeds, so they're not viable. They haven't fully matured yet. So if you planted those, they probably would not grow. So those are the green seeds. Let's see if we can find some brown seeds. I think I see some down here. Some green ones and some brown ones. So if I pull off a brown one, you can see how that looks different. I know some of you guys have seen these before. We've saved these and planted these. So that's the calendula seed right there. So remember, flowers get pollinated they turn into seeds. And then we are able to, so if you ever find seeds on a plant that you like, you're always able to pop them off as long as they're dry. You can see how some of these are still green and some are browner. So when they're dry and brown, that's when we want to plant them. And if we're gonna save them, then we wanna make sure we save them in something like a paper envelope. Not really a Ziploc bag, because if there's any moisture in there, then the moisture gets trapped and the seeds can get moldy. So we want to save them in kind of a paper bag so that they can breathe and that moisture can leave. So just for fun, I'm just going to scatter those seeds there, cover them up, and hopefully they'll be growing well when we're back to school. Here are the pea plants that Miss Brownbill's class, Miss Mitchell's class, Miss Fulbright's class, and Miss Davenport's class all planted, and they're growing in our garden. You can see all the pea pods. So how about we harvest them? Since we're here, we'll harvest them, and maybe we'll do a recipe with peas. Sound fun? So here's our last celery plant. Remember, when we eat celery, what part of the plant do we eat? Do we eat the leaves? Do we eat the root below ground? Do we eat the flower, the seeds, or the fruit? I don't even see any of those. We eat the stem. That's right, so here's our celery stem. So I'm gonna pull this one out of the ground. Ugh. There, look at that beautiful, healthy root system. Shake off the dirt a little bit. And there's our celery plant. I wish you guys were here helping me water. I could definitely use your help.